I am Andy Johnson. This is the Reading Instruction Show. We're looking at research to support the 3 cueing system. All right, let's take a look at that. It has been villainized, but defining our terms. To understand this, you need to know the difference between recognizing a word and identifying a word. This is an important distinction. Recognizing a word, it's in your lexicon, in the dictionary in your head. You see it while reading and you instantly know what it is. Ah, I recognize you. Identifying words, again, in your lexicon, you see it, but you do not recognize it. You don't automatically know what it is. So you must consciously apply a strategy. I don't know that word. I think I will use this strategy. There are 4 word identification strategies, or strategies used to identify words that you don't recognize. Analogy, looking for parts you recognize, or large unit phonics. Morphological analysis, or morphemic analysis, prefix, suffix, and roots. Context clues, clues on both sides, and phonics. And 3 cueing is not on that list. Guessing at words is not on this list. And using pictures is not on this list. 3 cueing systems, it's not a strategy, it's not an approach, it's not a method, and it's not a plot to destroy democracy. So what is it, the 3 cueing systems? It's a recognition that the brain uses multiple sources of information when creating meaning with print. That's what reading is, not sounding out words, but creating meaning. And one of my students gave me this definition. It's developing what the brain naturally does, using what the brain naturally does and developing so it does it better. Our brain naturally does 3 things. It looks for patterns. That's called gestalt. It's a pattern identifier, and it tries to create meaning, and it makes predictions and inferences based on partial data. We see partial data and we naturally fill in the blanks. Our brains, in order to evolve, in order to operate efficiently, it fills in the blanks and makes predictions based on just a little data, based on information in the head. This is called gestalt, when we see the patterns and fill in the blanks. These are just black and white splotches, but we see some tigers dancing around here, and I see an elephant there and other shapes there. I'm filling in the blanks. Our brain naturally tries to make sense of things. We can look at this and our brain can make it a chalice or 2 people facing each other, but our brain is operating to make sense when it's just a black and white blob. We see either a young woman looking away or an older woman looking down. Our partial data is used to complete the picture. We see a triangle here, but it's 3 Pac-Man faces looking at each other. Groucho Marx, a dog, guy playing the saxophone or wearing a hat. Our brain uses a lot of information, but 3 cueing systems to cue the brain as to what the word is during the act of reading. And it's a set of interdependent and interacting systems. They work together as a whole. The semantic system, the syntactic system, and the graphophonic system, or the phonetic system. And these are used not to identify words, but to recognize words automatically. These systems do not work in isolation. They interact and are interdependent. That's why if you're teaching just phonics, well, you're ignoring these other 2 and allowing that to atrophy. These all work together. If we encounter words floating in space without any context at all, well, it would make sense to focus just on phonics. But every word ever encountered is encountered in the context of a sentence, a sign, a product, or a situation. And all that information is used to identify the word. For example, the word run means a lot of different things depending on the sentence.